Here's a sentence that will sound wrong to almost everyone watching. Maxing out your traditional 401k for 30 straight years might be one of the worst tax decisions you ever make. Not at 25, not at 35, but at 50, 55, 60, the math quietly flips. Almost nobody warns you when it does. Your financial advisor probably won't tell you. Your 401k administrator definitely won't. The IRS certainly won't. Because the rule everyone learns, defer taxes, max 401k, trust compounding, works beautifully for most of your career, right up until it doesn't. I'm Jeff. Today, a careful, honest look at why maxing your 401k past a certain point may build the biggest tax bill of your life. 3 Americans today. Robert, 52, engineering manager, $1.4 million, traditional 401k, maxing for 19 years. Linda, 61, 2 years from retirement, $2.1 million traditional, about to discover something painful. Michael, 48, saw the pattern years ago, built a different system. We'll see his alternative. 3 real situations. Wildly different outcomes 30 years from now. Quick note, not financial advice, not tax advice. A framework for your situation. Talk to a CPA and a fiduciary. Stay with me, 14 minutes. By the end, you'll see your 401k statement differently than you do right now. Let's start with why the conventional advice was right for so long. Because, and this matters, the standard advice isn't wrong, it's incomplete. The trap isn't a wrong answer. It's the right answer, kept past its expiration date. Early career, income climbing, tax bracket climbing. Every deferred dollar saves marginal tax today. In a 32% bracket today, expect to retire in 22 to 24%? Traditional makes obvious sense. You trade expensive dollars for cheap future ones. Deferral compounds. Growth compounds. Decades pass. Numbers look beautiful on the screen. That's why every financial blog says the same thing. Max your 401k, defer everything, trust the long view. And for most people, especially 20s, 30s, early 40s, that advice is correct. The math works. But here's what nobody mentions. The advice was built for the average American, who retires with about $200,000 saved in a low bracket. Follow the advice well. Max for 15, 20, 25 years, and you're not average, you're an outlier. Outliers need different math. Now, the hidden downside most never consider. When you defer tax, you don't avoid it, you delay it. You're not skipping a bill, you're scheduling one. And the future bill comes with a feature most people don't realize. You don't get to choose when it arrives. The IRS chooses, through a rule called Required Minimum Distribution. RMD. Starting at age 73, for most watching this, the IRS forces you to withdraw a specific percentage every year, whether you need the money or not. Miss the deadline? 25% penalty on the shortfall. They are not joking. Now let's run the numbers, step by step, so you see what actually happens. Robert, 52 today, $1.4 million traditional, still maxing about $23,500 a year. Plus 5% match, 7% market return. Robert plans to retire at 65. 13 more years of compounding. At 7% growth plus contributions, his 401k hits roughly $4.2 million by 65. Beautiful number. Hard earned. Then keeps compounding through retirement. 65 to 73, 8 more years. Even at modest 5%, that $4.2 million becomes $6.2 million. Age 73 arrives. RMD time. The IRS divisor is 26.5 in the first year. Robert's first required withdrawal, $234,000 in one single year. Add Social Security, roughly $48,000, plus pension or dividends. Combined income, easily $300,000 a year. Robert thought he'd be in a 22% bracket in retirement. Surprise! He's in a 32% bracket, with RMDs growing every year. But federal tax is just the beginning. Effect 1. Social Security taxation. At $300,000 income, up to 85% of Robert's Social Security becomes taxable. He pays tax on a benefit he already paid tax to earn. Effect 2. Medicare IRMAA surcharge. In 2026, joint income above $218,000 triggers it. At Robert's level, roughly $6,900 extra a year per person. Effect 3. RMD grows every year. IRS divisor shrinks. Age 80, 5%. Age 85, over 6%. Age 90, over 8%. Portfolio grows. Forced withdrawals grow faster. Robert can't outrun them. Over Robert's full retirement, 73 to 90, he pays roughly $1.6 million in federal tax alone. $1.6 million. From an account he was told would save him on taxes. Now, the painful truth Linda is about to discover. Linda, 61, just discovered she has $2.1 million traditional, almost no Roth, almost no taxable brokerage. She wants to retire at 63, 2 years early. Plan was simple. Pull from 401k to bridge to Social Security. Every dollar Linda pulls from traditional is taxed as ordinary income. At her bracket, 24% federal, plus state, plus blocking later Roth conversion efficiency. If Linda had $400,000 in a taxable brokerage now, she could pull from there. Pay long-term capital gains, maybe 15%, sometimes 0%. Let traditional keep compounding to 73. She doesn't have that flexibility. Wrong bucket. When the RMD wave hits at 73, the $2.1 million has grown to $3.4 million. First RMD, $128,000. Combined with Social Security and pension, she's in the same bracket she was working. The whole point of deferring? Undone. Now let's look at Michael, who saw this pattern years ago and built something different. Michael, 48, earns $145,000, has about $900,000 invested. Here's where it sits. $520,000 traditional 401k, $230,000 Roth, split Roth 401k, and Roth IRA, $150,000 taxable brokerage. Why 3 buckets? Each one is taxed differently in retirement. Future Michael chooses which to pull from based on the tax year. Traditional, taxed as ordinary income, best for low-income years. Roth, already taxed. Grows tax-free, withdrawn tax-free. Best for high-income years or avoiding IRMA. Taxable brokerage, long-term capital gains, often 15%, sometimes 0%, available at any age, no penalty. What does this give Michael that Robert and Linda don't have? Tax control. Robert and Linda played, minimize my tax this year. Michael plays, minimize my tax over 30 years. Different games, different outcomes. Here's a specific strategy Michael uses. The Roth conversion window. Between retirement and age 73, when RMDs start, most people have a window of low income, not working. Social Security may be deferred. Tax bracket is unusually low. These are gold years for converting traditional to Roth. Pay 22% or 24% today, instead of being forced into 32% or 35% later when RMDs collide with Social Security and Medicare. Michael plans to convert about $80,000 a year from traditional to Roth between ages 60 and 72. By 73, most pre-tax is now Roth. RMDs become minimal. Same starting capital, wildly different outcomes by age 90. Let me show you. Robert's projected lifetime tax, about $1.6 million. Michael's projected lifetime tax, about $850,000. Similar starting position, $750,000 difference. From the same earned money, different bucket strategy. Robert isn't doing anything wrong. He's following the standard advice perfectly. He's just doing it too long. Past the moment when it stopped serving him. Now, the reversal. I spent 14 minutes calling traditional 401k a trap. You might think the lesson is, stop using traditional, switch to Roth entirely. Wrong. The lesson is, match the bucket to the season of your career. 20s and 30s. Traditional makes sense. Lower brackets behind you, higher ones ahead. Defer aggressively. 40s. Start adding Roth. Even with slightly less deferral, build future flexibility. 50s. If traditional is already large, consider stopping new traditional entirely. Redirect new dollars to Roth and taxable. 60s. Before RMDs hit, convert traditional to Roth aggressively in the low-income window between retirement and 73. Each phase has a different priority. The mistake isn't using traditional. The mistake is using it the same way across all phases. Here are 5 practical action steps. Each one you can take this month. 1. Pull your 401k statement. Note 3 numbers: current balance, annual contribution, estimated balance at 73. 2. Divide the projected age 73 balance by 26.5. That's your first projected RMD. Add Social Security. Add pension. That's the income you'll be taxed on, whether you need it or not. 3. If projected income pushes you into 24% or higher in retirement, start shifting new contributions toward Roth this year. 4. If you have no taxable brokerage account at all, open one this month. Even a small balance gives tax flexibility later. Use Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab. 5. If you're within 10 years of retirement and have over $1 million. Traditional. Book time with a fee-only fiduciary, not commission-based. A fiduciary. Now, one more truth before we close. Linda is already in her bracket trap. Robert is on track for his. If you're 35, 40, 45, you have time to build differently. If you're 55, 60, still time, but it requires deliberate action this year, not next. The principle to take home. Most Americans focus on tax savings. The wealthy focus on tax control. Not the same thing. Tax savings, pay less this year. Tax control, pay less across 30 years. One looks bigger today, the other adds up to millions. Tax control comes from having choices. Choices come from having multiple buckets. Multiple buckets come from planning. Planning starts the day you realize one bucket isn't enough. If you've watched this far, you've already started planning. Disclaimer, not financial advice, not tax advice. Examples, illustrative. Tax laws change. Talk to a CPA and a fiduciary. Comments. Tell me your situation. Are you Robert, Linda, Michael, somewhere in between? And tell me, did anyone ever explain the RMD trap before this video? Or did you discover it the hard way? If this video gave you a clearer picture, share with one specific person. Someone over 50 maxing traditional for a decade with no idea what RMDs are. They'll thank you in 10 years, quietly, when they realize what they almost missed. Next video, the Roth conversion ladder. How to convert traditional to Roth at the lowest possible tax cost. Step by step. Subscribe. Until then, remember, tax savings is a 1-year game. Tax control is a 30-year discipline. Start playing the longer game. Take care.